Welcome, everybody. This is Brian Parker with Head to Head. Matter of fact, let me throw in my music. There you go. I like that. So, we will be coming up 5 minutes after the hour for another show of Head to Head. Y'all missed us last week, but we are back ready to do it again. Uh, but yeah, want to thank everybody for tuning in to the show and just asking everybody, please like, share, and subscribe to the feed wherever you're tuning in from. We are very, very grateful. We are getting a lot of support also on our YouTube channel. So please take a minute to go over to YouTube, pull up Empower TV, Parker Media Network, and like, share, and subscribe to that as well. We definitely want to get more shares so that we can grow the channel organically. We do appreciate you guys' help in that. Also, though, we are reaching out. If you have ever wanted to host your own show, whether it's sports, could be cooking show, talk show, entertainment, legal, crafts, car repairs, whatever you think would be interesting, please reach out to us at theparkermedia@gmail.com. We'd love to talk to you guys about doing that. We have a lot of pre-programmed things that do show up on our Roku and Amazon channel. But I would love to also balance that out with a lot more live airing. Live airings are very good. It gives you a way to be able to engage with people in real time and, be able to have those conversations. So we really love it. A lot of things about being on air, though, is it's not scripted. So you will get comments in real time, but you get to respond in real time, too. So I enjoy that part about it. We do our show once a week. We also have a sports show on Mondays, Head to Head Sports, where we cover the NFL. But in all reality, y'all, it's just a lot to be able to do with just one person. So I'm expanding, looking for partners. Reach out to us. We're going to go ahead and get our countdown going. But we will see you guys on the other side of the break. We do appreciate y'all for tuning in. And I'm down to a couple of seconds. So I'm trying to pull it out so that 7 o'clock comes, our producer can start the countdown. Well, we might get started just a tad bit early. You okay with that, producer? All right, let's hit it. We'll see y'all right after the break.
It's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. Ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it. I've been comma and a comma and a comma, gotta get it, get it, get it, get it. Comma and a comma, gotta get it.
Welcome everybody to another episode of Head to Head with Brian Parker, and there he appears now.
There you go. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I thought you were playing hide and seek.
No, I'm having technical issues. Still am. Screen's frozen up, everything. Computers are I was going back and forth between two computers because they're both moving entirely too slow for me, and I don't know what's going on. So
It seems like the internet gremlins are at work.
okay. Can you hear me?
I can.
Well, it was fine. It was just fine on the pre-show, so I don't know what the hell happened.
I told you it's the internet gremlins.
So tell me, am I frozen and you can hear me, or am I moving and you can hear me?
You are moving very slowly. I can hear you, but it looks like it's a slight delay.
Okay. Hopefully it'll kind of fix itself. I don't know what the hell's going on, to be honest with you.
Again, it's the internet gremlins, or let's just blame who we always want to blame, Spectrum.
Could be. Somebody's been trying to get me to really go over to um like these
Fiber.
wind fiber. Yeah. Tell me that it's a whole lot better. That they get a lot more. 'Cause we get a pretty good uh upload download on things
We
too. But
do.
they were telling me that they get they get guaranteed anywhere between 800 and 1,000 up and down.
Yeah, depending, and then they say a lot of times with fiber it's a lot better. I've had people who switched from Spectrum, but they actually went to fiber. I think he had it was an old coworker of mine who had Windstream. And he's in
Uh-huh.
Charlotte. So
Hmm. All right. Well,
like I said, you
thank
have
you
all of
everybody.
the information.
Yeah, I do. I do. It's just one of those things of slow to move a lot of times when especially when you've been kind of used to one type of service for a while. Um, trying to get out of that to get something else and then end up with uh, something else and then not knowing if it's going to be as good. It's almost kind of like being in a bad relationship. At least you know that person, and you try to get into another one, you didn't know absolutely about anything about them, and then you got to learn what because they're going to show you all the good stuff, right? But then over time, then you start to figure out, oh, okay, oh, that's why it was cheaper. Oh, okay, that kind of thing, and you start to wonder, okay, I should have just put up with the devil I knew instead of learn the devil that I don't. And
Well,
that's not a reason to not change and move, as I've learned over the years. But that still does creep up from time to time when you're looking at moving on for certain things. I mean, how long did it take for us to get rid of regular cable and go to just using a app that was far cheaper? Now, when I get my cable bill every month, I go, "Damn, I should have done this a whole lot sooner." Would have saved me hundreds of dollars over the course of a year, and I'm not even missing anything um, that I once had. Now, with the football season starting up, I do want to see how that's going to affect it. As far as will I be able to stream the same games that I would have ordinarily streamed? And the reason that that's important, at least for me, outside the fact that I do like watching football games from time to time, is that I need to be in the know because I actually host a football show with my co-host Randall Hargrove on Mondays called Head to Head Sports. So everybody, thanks for tuning in. Welcome to another episode of Head to Head with Brian Parker. I am he. Um, and I do apologize if you're getting delays. I mean, on my side, I look crazy. But as long as y'all can hear me, I will rock and roll with it. I mean, Lori, you're moving freely just fine. I think it's my computer. When I was on a Microsoft Teams call earlier today, my camera was acting crazy. I had to go in and out of the meeting because it kept telling me that my camera wasn't working. All kinds of stuff. So
just
maybe I got
have
some
you
updates.
done your software updates? Just saying. They dropped a whole bunch.
Yeah, you know what? It probably could be something like that. And I'll do that right after the show. That's a
Yes.
good point. I
Just
didn't even think about the
just
updates.
just let you know, because a lot of times when my computer was starting to act a little funny, and then
Hmm.
it was like, oh, there's 15 updates I need to do. So
But they do so many damn updates a week. It's just crazy. Even though
I
now
know.
my company always says um, we should always log out every day, like power down and then power back up. I rarely do
Hmm.
that, and part of the reason is that I have so many open apps always up because my job requires me to be able to um, pull up a lot of stuff at one time. And for me, it's easier a lot of times just to have those tabs already open and stuff. Now I know I can pin them, and before anybody, gets at me with that, I can pin them, and then as I reload, reboot, it'll open up everything that was pinned. And that's probably what I'll need to do because yeah, I am starting to have more and more problems. It was funny when I first got this work computer, it didn't have those issues, but I guess the longer and longer you have it, powering down becomes more of a necessity than it probably did at the very beginning. I'm guessing I'm not a IT person, but it kind of seems like that. But anyways, welcome to the show, everybody. And as you heard me say, Head to Head airs every Thursday at 7 p.m. And our show, Head to Head Sports, will air every Monday from 7 to about 8:15. And that is because we are now bumping up that show against Monday Night Football. We will have our first Monday night football games next week. And I say games plural because I do believe, Lori, that it is actually a double header. They do that the first week or two of the season, just for whatever reason. But they normally there's only one Monday night football game, like there's only one Sunday night football game. But the first week or two of the season, they always try to throw in a double header. So we will get a double header. What that means is that Randall and I will lose about 15 minutes off of our regular hour and a half show, so that we can get in our reviews and predictions for that upcoming week. So we'll have that going, and then it'll also lead into the Thursday night football show as well. We already went through our preseason, picked our uh, winners. Lori, uh, we already we already know who's going to the playoffs. I don't know why they need to play these 17 games because me and Randall already figured out who's in and who's out before they played one game. We already know, and I got it on the record. And I like to do that because then at the end of the year, I like to be able to come back and tell you guys, hey, this is where we got it right. This is where we didn't get it right. This is who was kind of more of a uh, you know a sleeper, and they came in and started doing some things that we did not foresee during the season. So, analysis can be one thing, but you still got to go on the field and play those games. So we understand that things can
Well,
happen,
well,
and can happen, and things like that. But go ahead, Lori.
sorry, you were in the midst of talking because we have a bar on our signal, and also because we are in the midst of having some type of storm that's either passing by us to the north or to this way. This is whenever our internet decides to go haywire. So we were kind of off for a few minutes, about a few seconds. We were talking, so
Uh,
just may have
okay.
to.
Well, hell, I don't remember what the hell I was talking about. Oh, other than the fact that me and Randall already have picked the games, and I don't know why they even need to play these 17 games because we already know who's winning, who's going to the playoffs, what their records are going to be, who's going to be the MVP. We even know who's going to the Super Bowl and who's going to win the Super Bowl.
Well, I hope that your four-leaf clover, because you've been consistent for the last couple of years on where things have going. So I'm going to keep it with your four-leaf clover that you have.
Hmm. We will see. Just as a teaser, I have the Eagles and the Chiefs repeating again in this year's Super Bowl.
Hmm, interesting.
Yes.
Well, some of the other teams have hopes and dreams, but
Well,
we
I mean,
won't go into that.
and you should because right now everybody's record is the same. Everybody as of right now is
Is
tied for first.
first.
All third,
Absolutely.
all 32 teams are tied for first. Now, after Monday, only 16 teams will be tied for first because somebody got to lose this week.
Hmm.
So 16 teams will be 1-0 and 16 teams will be 0-1. So that's how it works. That's how it works. And hopefully at the end of the day you win a lot more than you lose. So but yeah, so we're excited about that. And as I said in the pre-show, we are definitely looking for other collaborators, anybody that would love to be able to join our network that may want to host a live show. Please reach out to us at theparkermedia@gmail.com if you have any interest in doing that. We would love to be able to potentially work with some folks that have a passion for being in front of the camera and talking about whatever it is that you know about, that you have a passion about, and that you would love to be able to engage with the audience about. You can use your existing platforms to add to your stream, as well as join our Roku network at the same time. So you do have that ability. Just like right now, we are streaming on multiple channels, whether it is Facebook, whether it is YouTube, Instagram, uh, Roku. Uh, we are on all of those right now. And I know I turned my head, but it's because I'm actually checking to make sure that, oh, it told me that the franchise entered. That was new. Does it
Yeah.
normally do that?
It's actually just, I guess, with this new refresh, they kind of let you know who is entered in the studio and to bring you on. So,
Yeah.
Jermaine, just let me know when you want me to bring you on, and I'm ready to go. Okay.
Nice new feature that they've done there. So, oh yeah.
Hello.
What's up, family?
Well, hello
What's
there.
going
Oh,
on,
there he
sir?
is. Ah, nice hat.
Thank you.
Yeah. How's everything going?
Doing good. Doing good. Can't complain. Um, Mainly because I'm not paying attention to what's going on in Washington. I am paying attention, but I'm not paying it no mind, so that's why I'm not going to complain.
Oh, okay.
If I
Okay.
may,
Well,
if I
listen.
may make a comment,
I'm sorry.
I
Go ahead.
do love your hat. I do love your hat. Great hat. Is it like leather?
It is. So this is actually a retirement gift from my good friend Renan Barber and Louis Bragg. They got together, gave me some
Nice.
retirement gifts. So
Very nice. Very nice. Very, very, very stylish hat.
picked up the old man American Legion. Riding my gold wing, playing computer love hat. So
Oh,
Nice.
were you on the Gold Wing?
I was not.
Oh,
I've been shuttling children around all afternoon. So
okay. Okay. I was gonna say, right on. Oh, well, look. First and foremost, I want to give props to the franchise. He was on uh podcast, Queen City Plus, is it?
mm-hmm.
Okay. Queen City Plus, part of Fox, right? Am I getting all this?
Yes.
All right. And yeah, I watched the entire interview. Um, it was really good. Yeah, I loved it. It was really good, and I can see, because I know we talked about it off air. I can see how that kind of a conversation went faster than you thought it would, and y'all could have probably done that for like 2 hours.
Well, a couple of takeaways. So Brian Christensen, who works at the news station, he was in our public affairs office when I was at the Air Guard, and so he was the man behind the camera and the lens and stuff, and did a lot of our photos and videos during his time there. His 20 years there, and we got to be friends over that time and stuff. And so, and the way things work out is that I run into him all the time, and maybe exaggeration on all the time, but I run into him a lot when he's out doing stuff with the news. I'll see him when they started the program that I was doing with CMPD. He was there at the news conference. I mean, just always, just kind of out and about doing stuff. And he called me up and was like, "Hey, my news director has asked me to do this new podcast series." And just knowing Brian for as long as I have, he's always been the kind of person in this. I'm behind the lens. I don't want to be in front of the lens kind of thing. But they encouraged him to step out, try something new. And so what they wanted to do was have a podcast series that told veteran stories outside of Memorial Day and Veterans Day.
Right.
And so he invited me to come on and talk. And like you and I talked about. It was, it was only a 30-minute segment, but it went really fast. I mean,
Mhm.
what do we do on here? Like an hour and a half, 2 hours sometimes. So it went by really fast, and so that was one of the takeaways. And then the second thing was because it went so fast. Like he asked me, and we didn't do sort of like this show. We don't sit down and talk about answers and questions and stuff like that
Mhm.
beforehand. Just kind of, you bring up topics and I kind of react, and that's what happened with that interview too. And so there were things like he asked me like stories. He said, "I know you got a story from in the airplane and stuff." And I have two great stories that I didn't tell because he asked me to put me on the spot. My mind went blank. Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what I was doing back there. Uh, but one story I'm not going to tell it all the way is that I scratched Marine One, the helicopter loading it. Semi got in trouble for that, and I almost got into a fist fight with special forces guys in the middle of the night in the back of airplane in Afghanistan. Um, and those were two stories that I could have told, but uh, go, go check it out. Fox 46 or Queen City Plus should be on their website.
For somebody that isn't one to be in front of the camera, I thought he did a pretty good job. Just watching it and moderating and stuff. He did great.
That's what I told him. I said, dude, I said, and he's such a humble guy. He's always been that way. Um, and I've, he's a good dude, and I've always liked him, right? And so when he told me he was doing this, I was like, "Oh yeah, it sounds like something." He's like, I don't want to mess up, and the apprehension that comes with that
Right.
kind of stuff, and and then I think also because it's at a news station, and there's some kind of pressure that if I don't do a good job, then what about these veteran stories? Who's going to tell them?
Mm.
And how do I make that interesting? And so there's a lot to it and stuff, but it was very very nicely done, and he was encouraging me to start my podcast back up again, and
Mhm.
we do a kind of Freaky Friday where he would we reverse roles and stuff, and he come on my podcast, and I could tee him up for some Q&A.
Hmm,
Okay.
nice.
Yeah.
That was
Right.
wonderful. You did a great job.
Of course he did. Of course he did. Um, but and I'm sure between the main event and head to head, Jermaine has continued to work on his bona fides. So when he gets back to his podcast, it won't be like he's just jumping right back into the water. Like he ain't been in the swimming pool. First time you jump back in, it get a little cold, so you get acclimated. Jermaine been swimming in the pool for a minute now, so um,
Well, like I told him off camera and stuff, he's like, you're not doing a podcast anymore, and as both of you can attest, there's a lot more than just setting up cameras and turning stuff on in order to pull off any level of broadcasting.
mhm,
And I was doing that show by myself, and for like the first, majority of it, like when I say by myself, I mean to include, I didn't have any guests or anything. It was just me. It was a lot focused on leadership and mentorship and stuff like that. It was just me for an hour, just talking.
yep, I remember.
And so it's hard to put together because there's pre-production, taping the show, and then post
Yep,
and getting it published and stuff. And it was just a lot of work. And then my time has been taken up by other things. Like I just got through chauffeuring girls around. So my children, not other people's children. I'm not Trump. My teenagers.
Well, I am looking forward to when you have that come back because again, I really loved hearing your talk about with leadership and mentorship, and I think it's a really in this day and age, it's really needed and pertinent. So whenever that happens, I know you have a lot of things that are going on and busy. I really enjoyed when you would talk about leadership and mentorship and taking some nuggets from there. So whenever you get back around to it, I'm looking forward to it and will help do the post production. So how about I can expand my production duty because I am the
Yeah.
production founder. Um,
Well,
when
that's the great thing about Empower.
whenever that
You
happens, or you need to sit here to do this one, I can kind of sit here and run chyrons and do this way.
Well, the great thing about Empower is that even if it wasn't family, it's family, but it's family, and so as a network and as where I hang my hat now for my commentary and stuff, which is this in I think there might be some people who see this commentary and like um, who never saw my podcast stuff. I wasn't really political in the podcast and stuff. I didn't do a lot of that kind of talk on there because I did have a different vein that I stayed in.
Mhm.
And I know there may be some people who are looking at the Queen City interview and like, he didn't want to say America was racist. That wasn't the point of it. That was veteran stories and stuff. We'll get to that tonight. Um,
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, that is good. So yeah, anytime, and Jermaine, like I told everybody else, anytime somebody wants to, because even podcast platforms have changed from when they initially started to from even just the point of where they were primarily audio only, and now a lot of the cast are both visual and audio. And people are like, you can have a visual podcast, absolutely, of course you can. Um, but yeah, but you also have the ability to be able to put it on audio platforms, Spotify.
Podcasts now are more professional. It's not even when I was doing it. It's not even. It's progressed so much since they're like this level of production that we have here. Whether somebody might agree with what level that qualifies for, but you're talking about, like say, video, multiple people on screen, being able to change chevrons, actually having captions for, just to have, just to have this, the franchise on here, just a level of polish that's out there now, and that it because consumers are consuming more of that stuff, the expectation of that polish, whether it be audio quality, visual quality, and before you even get to content, if your mic's too squeaky or your video's too grainy or it doesn't look like you put any time in and effort into it and stuff, people are not going to consume your content. That's one of those barriers to entry into the field. But yeah, it's so much more complicated, and so anybody looking for some help, Empower. You got the production, you got Mr. Head to Head, so they can get you pointed the right direction.
Absolutely, absolutely. I couldn't say it any better. Let's give them a round of applause for that. And I love that my streaming people keep adding more and more features. So I just got all these nice sounds added right before the show. So I'm trying some of those out. What do you think, Lori?
Like a kid in a candy store. That's what you're doing. That's
Yeah,
what you do.
I just feel like dropping this one bomb and then I'll get it going. All right, that's it. And then I also have it on my mixer too, but I don't have all of these kind of sounds, so it's pretty cool. But anyway, so yeah, if you are out there, you've got a business, or you've got a platform, or you are looking to grow a platform, please reach out to us at theparkermedia@gmail.com. Let's have that conversation and see if your vision is in line with ours and see if there's any room for a partnership. Again, it does take a lot to do a production. So, but we would definitely love every single year to grow our live uh, uh, footprint onto the network. We have plenty of uh, uh, pre-recorded things that we do air and things like that, but would definitely love to be able to do that with folks that would love to be able to engage with an audience and be able to grow their presence and also help grow the network's presence as well. So looking forward to that coming up. And like I said, with the other part of the program and Monday nights, we'll now have head-to-head sports at 7, followed by immediately followed by Monday Night Football. So look out for that. Tonight is the start of the new NFL season, where the Dallas Cow. I almost said it. The Dallas Cowboys. Cow bitches are so. The Dallas Cowboys.
Cowboys.
That's what I said. Are going to Philadelphia to Philadelphia Eagles tonight, and go home to Dallas with boxes and boxes of Kleenex. Um, and since Whoop Ass is sponsoring the show, there he is. You got the Empower on there. There you go.
Yeah.
All right, I like that. I like that. So check that out. Also, just a quick announcement too. If you are in the local Charlotte area, and you don't have anything going on Saturday, our friends at Grape and Glass Wine Tasting Room in Concord is having a wine and dine going on, where they are it is sports. Look at that. Where they are actually going to have a wine and dine 5:30 p.m. and then another sitting at 7:30 p.m. and they're partnering with the local barbecue company. So they're going to have their brisket and all pulled pork and all kinds of stuff for you to be able to choose from. Just go to their website. You can Google Grape and Glass Wine Tasting Room and go to their website and be able to buy those tickets. They will go fast. The wine room only seats anywhere between 35 to 40 people, so be very limited space. But it's a great way to support local business that's really doing some great things out there. So would definitely love you guys to go check them out. And if you can't go out on Saturday, they are open Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I know Fridays they normally have their $5 wine downs and things like that. I know Sundays they normally have their brunch that starts at 1 p.m. Followed by their sundown karaoke from 4 to 7. Like I said, it's a local place, minority owned, and they are definitely trying to grow, and we are here for it. So uh, please support. If you have any questions, send us a DM and we will hook you up. All right, y'all. Well, it's 7:34. I don't know about y'all, but we ended this at 8:15 because brother gonna watch his Eagles go crack some skulls. That's what we gonna do. Ain't it right, Lori? All right. Look,
And
We'll
again,
be quick.
Yeah.
yes. And again, Brian, I have heeded what you have been saying with the culmination of the start of the football season. So I know to let you have the TV, just poke my head in and say, are you thirsty or are you hungry? That's it.
well, this week is
I
gonna
know
be
this
interesting.
until February. So I'm, you know.
Yeah, this week is gonna be interesting anyway because not only is there a Thursday night game, but then there's a Friday night game as well being played. I think for the second year in a row in Sao Paulo, Brazil.
Hmm.
Is it Brazil? Yeah.
Yes, Sao Paulo is in Brazil.
Yeah. So they're gonna be in Brazil, playing. I believe it's the Chargers and the Chiefs, or somebody. Maybe it's not the Chiefs. I know it's the Chargers. I know they're going. I believe it's the Chiefs too. That are going to be playing in that game. I think last year was the 49ers and somebody else, but yeah, so they're doing that, and then there'll be the slew of Sunday night games. Sunday games, then Sunday night game, and then they'll have a doubleheader on Monday. So a lot of football to be played, a lot of college football. College football weekend just started this past Saturday, with a lot of top ranked teams getting their tails whipped because back in the days when me and Jermaine were coming up, and even before that, a lot of these big teams wouldn't really be tested until about 5 games into the season because they would beat up on all the systems of the poor and all these, and you get a text thinking that they're gonna just go into Ohio State and say, "Hey, we here," and Ohio State had none of that. or Alabama gets pushed around, just all kinds of crazy losses and stuff. Even my Tar Heels got that ass whoop on Monday.
Ooh.
See you. I know. Oh, everybody's ready thought they were ready for the Bill Belichick era, and nobody was ready, including Bill Belichick. So
I think Bill Belichick was ready. I think, and I know this is not your sports show, but my just 2 cents on that real quick is they were not a powerhouse team last year. It wasn't like he brought in a brand new team.
right.
What were you expecting? I mean, coaching only goes so far.
Yeah. It was like when they
So
talk about, do you know that this team didn't complete a pass for over an hour and a half, which is damn near impossible because you can even throw like a little check down to a running back that counts as a pass, as long as he's in front of the quarterback when he catches it. But it was crazy because that came up, and the first thing I said, Jermaine, is, and how many of those did Belichick throw, and how many of those did he try to catch? He can't throw, and he can't catch, and he don't try to. Well, shut up, Brian. Don't say it. Don't say it. Because he got that little young girl. Never mind. Maybe he's throwing and catching. Anyway,
I think she's
Stop
throwing.
it.
I think she's throwing and catching.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. The jokes have already started. I mean, I'm sorry, continuing.
that was too easy. Anyway,
Look, all I know is that Bill Belichick made his debut in UNCC this year, 6 years after his girlfriend made her debut in college. So it's I don't know what you expect from the man.
well, and speaking of UNCC, that's actually going to be their next opponent, actually at Jerry Richardson Stadium. I believe it's either tomorrow or Saturday. So we got that going on. So you've got college football, pro football, and you got high school football. So very interested to see how that goes. Of course, my West Charlotte Lions opened up at their first game, and they lost that one by 1 point at Bank of America Stadium, followed up by a nice win this past Friday. I think it was against Monroe, where they definitely made them pay for losing their opening game. And we'll definitely, Jermaine, have to go catch one of those if possible. I'm definitely want to go to that, or even possibly homecoming. So, Lori, we might need you to watch the little man for homecoming.
Auntie Lori is here to do it.
Yeah, we might need that. Just saying. Anyway, but yeah, so we got that going on. So, what's going on out there in the world? Jermaine, did you hear that? Man, it's so much stuff going on out there right now. And I've heard people say that Trump is really just trying to do a lot of distractions and stuff like that. And I wanted to push back on that because I don't really think these are distractions. I think they're all kind of linked together. Um, and I'll give you a perfect example of what I'm talking about. People saying, well, because of everything going on with Epstein, Trump is trying to use uh, these invasions of blue cities as a way of distraction. And I don't even believe that at all. Um, Trump initially started with California trying to militarize the National Guard, talking about claiming an emergency powers that is being laughed at in the lower courts. Now, ultimately, a lot of these things will make its way to the Supreme Court, which is uh, on break right now and should return the second week of October. The Supreme Court still is open, but not open. Like if there's emergency cases and things like that that they need to hear, it can be heard, or there could even be a shadow docket where things are being kind of done in the background. But in this particular case, a lot of this stuff is going to have to play out to the Supreme Court about the powers of the executive, number one. But number two, violating what is known as the Posse Comitatus Act, which is basically a way of saying you cannot use the National Guard to turn into force. That the purpose of the National Guard is to be able to when you do call them in, is to help with federal buildings and things like that, help with disasters, things like that, but not to be able to turn into a militia. And Trump is trying to push the boundaries of turning it into a militia. But Jermaine, before I hand it to you, I'm just going to go ahead and tell people what they really should be looking for in doing a lot of this. Trump has realized that Vladimir Zelensky in Ukraine has been president of Ukraine longer than he should. But part of the reason that Vladimir Zelensky is still the president of Ukraine is because Ukraine is currently in a war with Russia. Elections have been suspended because he's in the middle of a war. Something gave Trump the idea that, hey, at the end of these 4 years, technically I can't run for reelection. But if the country is under siege, I can hold up the elections. And I can just use the military as my force to quell any opposition to that. But I'm gonna give it to you, Jay. Just go on that as any direction that you want to on that. But that's what I foresee him basically auditioning for.
Well, so I'll say this: as horrible as I think part of our election system is, there are enough checks and balances on there that he can't stop a midterm, because all these things are held at a state level. What he could do is have ICE agents and troops at polling stations to suppress a vote. And then after a vote's cast, like he did last time, he could question the legitimacy of a vote, but he can't necessarily stop voting.
But
even with emergency powers stuff, he can't, because again, it's not a federal thing they're doing. Voting is held on a local and state level. But to your point, what he's trying to do is trying to give himself emergency powers. Again, following the example of a lot of dictators, this is like dictator 101. Declare emergency, shut everything down, and then never give the power back. We talked about it last week. I'll continue to beat the drum for it because I don't think people understand. The thing that confuses me about the people who are cheering for Trump to send in military, and there's historical context on that too, of why we have these laws in place. It actually goes back to the whole "don't tread on me." Why do we need a Second Amendment? All these are the same arguments that we don't want the government to come take our stuff and take over stuff because we don't have kings, right? And so that was the reason that when the American military in the Revolutionary time had to be banded together and disbanded after the war, because they didn't want any political power to be able to use the military and come and impose military law on its citizenship. That's the reason for the Second Amendment, where people got the whole, well, we're going to have our guns and stuff because we're going to be able to fight back against the tyrannical government. They say it all the time. And then as Trump uses these powers and stuff, they sit there and abandon every principle that I've heard over the last 40 years from Republicans and stuff, where they talk about government overreach, where they talk about states' rights, where, all these things are now like, yeah, let's abandon all that because it makes libs cry. And there are all these talking points about Chicago, which are just thinly veiled racist attacks on Democratic and minority run cities and states. And again, the crazy thing, when we talked about this, when we talk about like benefits and welfare and stuff, and this is not me being hating and stuff, this is just a fact that there are more white people than black people. So anytime you look at anything, it's probably going to be dominated by white people unless it's athletics. And so you sit there and you look at all these, as bad as stuff about Myrtle capitals and Chicago's the worst city in the world. No, it's not. You need to go down to Alabama. You need to go to Arkansas. You need to go to these red states with all these poor whites that keep killing each other on this white on white violence. That's where you need to go if you're going to go anywhere. But that's not what he's doing. And this is a distraction
No,
from
you're
Epstein.
Yep. Oh yeah, absolutely. So in the top, it's funny you say that. The top 5 homicide rates in the out there right now, number 1 is Memphis, Tennessee. That's a red state, red city. St. Louis, Missouri, red state, red city. Baltimore, Maryland is in there. Washington, D.C. is in there. And then Birmingham, Alabama rounds out the top 5. Birmingham is red. So the question has been asked to Speaker Mike Johnson, and even about, he's from Louisiana. They talked about his home of Shreveport
Yep.
is actually on that list, higher up than some of the cities that they're naming, whether it's Chicago and California and Detroit and New York and Baltimore and all these ones that I just named have one thing in common, and I just can't figure out what the hell it is though. But Mike Johnson was asked.
I think they're all the
J.
cities
Tapper
that
is like,
James
"Hey,
Brown mentioned in Living in America."
Are you okay? Are you okay with National Guard being sent to Shreveport then? If you guys really now believe that the best way to tackle crime is to deploy the National Guard, why aren't those being done in a lot of these red cities that have more problems than a lot of these blue cities? And of course, the real
Baton
answer
Rouge.
is because it's never really wasn't about crime. Christy Nome actually sat there and said the other day on the news broadcast that if Trump hadn't have sent the National Guard into Los Angeles, it would have burned to the ground. And let's be clear,
No.
the riots and the protests in LA that he used as a reason to send only encompassed 3 blocks in LA. LA wasn't going to burn down because of that.
The one stronghold or steward of this democracy, this experiment of a democracy, or republic, is the court system. Is that you can allege whatever you want in public, but when they get to court, you have to bring facts. It was the whole reason that they stole the election from me in 2020. Didn't hold up in court, although he filed almost 100 cases against it. They never could bring it. Most of them were just dismissed outright because they knew they didn't have any evidence. And they were like, we're working on it. Well, how can you bring a case where we just feel like something's going on? We don't have any evidence. And you can win that battle on Fox News. You have advocates and sympathics on there who will sit there and carry your water for you. But like say with this court case in California, you sent them out there. You violated the law when you did it because you use a false pretense to get them out. And that's the other thing too. And he's going to continue to use. I mean, that's what he's using now in D.C. That's what he's using to try to send troops to Chicago. That's why they're spending so much money on ICE because to get around if we can't use the army, we'll build an army, and that'll be the largest private police force. I don't understand how people in local law enforcement are on board with this. Because it's basically saying that you're not doing shit. Now, if you say to myself, well, we could use some extra recruits and we could use some extra money, Trump has actually defunded the police with his big, beautiful bill withholding money that would go to law enforcement and stuff. So, I mean, I don't know reasonably, and this is why he polls so well with uneducated whites, because it's not that. I mean, really, like if you look at education versus who people vote for, if you look at doctorates, it's almost 1 for 1.
Yeah. It
You
is.
know what I mean? For masters, it's very high. Any college, anything above college level, it's almost always they're going to be Democratic. And is it because they go to liberal schools and they're being brainwashed and stuff? No, they learn how to read and write and count with the shoes on, and they learn how to really do their own research or just be able to see bullshit when it's coming. And people who sit here and argue for this guy at this point, I mean, it used to be, well, can't we have different opinions? Yeah, we could, but we have different morals at this point.
Mm. Yeah, and I go back to one thing that you said too about things, examples like the midterm elections, and about using ICE as a deterrent because the whole intimidation has always been around. Um, even before ICE had ramped up the way that they had, there'd always been like a lot of times at polls where you may have groups of people outside with guns and stuff like that trying to intimidate people from going in and voting and stuff like that. But that would take it to a whole nother level because the other thing that Trump is trying to do, Jermaine, is have same day voting. No more mail-in ballots, no more, voting, outside of going to the polling place on voting day. And that would really jive with what you said too about having ICE there. Because even what immigrant, legal for sure, because you have to be legal to vote,
Well, so
is
that
going
would
to
be an
want to sit
argument.
there and run the risk that I'm
That's the argument
yeah,
will be from some people is that, well, if you're worried about ICE being there, then you're just admit to the fact that there are illegal immigrants that are voting. No, no, that's not what we're saying. We're saying again, historical
well,
context
yeah,
in this country and stuff. They did the same thing to black people to
right.
discourage them from voting. Black people will allow you to vote, and then police would show up and there'd be a presence there, and there'd be people who would suppress their vote by the Klan would show up to ballot places,
Mm-hmm.
basically daring you to walk past them to cast your vote and stuff. And with the whole thing that we've been testing with ICE, it's been proven that you don't need to be an illegal to be detained, and we'll sort you out later, kind of thing. So anybody like Ian, even illegally,
Right,
somebody illegal
right. Because
immigrant to this country
because
might be
because
dissuaded.
even if they later, even if they, yeah, I mean, because think about it. Maybe later they figure out, oh, he really was a citizen. But who's to say they wouldn't detain you well after the voting has already happened? Or just the whole fact that they detain you in the first place. Some people may say, you know what? It's just not worth it for me to sit there and um, go through all of that or potentially put myself in a position where now I got to sit there and wonder if, you know, whether I'm a citizen, even being a citizen, am I going to be afforded the same rights? Um, as somebody that's a little lighter skinned than I am. Because they're doing it right now. They're rounding up people. They're not asking for their papers. They're just rounding them up based on how they look.
Well, so when
And
people,
that
the
and
thing
that has
about,
been
we talked about the whole due process and why they want to get rid of due process, and then people going, well, you don't need due process. Okay, so the people that had IDs and stuff, they presented it to ICE agents who then said these are fake IDs and then took them anyway. If you don't have due process, how does that help you? And that was the whole thing about disappearing actually American citizens.
right.
And Trump has talked about a very long time about wanting to lock up American citizens. He thinks he should have that right. Anybody that he feels is dissenting towards the government, and not towards the government, really. The spade, calling the spade in this is anything that he doesn't like. He wants those people to be quiet. He doesn't want free speech. And again, the party that says free speech, that says family values, that says all these things, as soon as, and that's the reason when we have the Chiron that says, franchise says that America KK or whatever the Chiron says, There you go. Quarter franchise Americans is historically raised the country. That's why that's so true, because as soon as something can be done to infringe upon the rights of minorities, with anything that looks like it's securing whiteness in this country and stuff, all these proposed purported morals and stuff out the window. Well, we'll care about that later on. You couldn't tell me in the same circumstance that if there was a Democrat, if Joe Biden won a second term and he decided that he was going to send the National Guard to go round up Christy Nome and her dog, and because there's an immediate danger to animals in that area and stuff, and we need to secure. You know what I mean?
Well, also, Jermaine, just I had heard even in talking about that it seems that some of these ICE agents that have been that have been recruited are now depressed because actually having to go in and wreak havoc in communities is depressing, and they're not very motivated, and especially with Trump's high goals that he wants for deportations.
Nazi guards actually said that after they had to shove Jews in the ovens, that they didn't feel good about it, but they still closed the door and let the match.
They did.
So when people talk about, and so hey, retired veteran here, there's such thing as lawful orders, things that you and your comments to say, hey, I know enough about my job that I know that somebody's telling me to do something that I should not be doing. And hey, has Jermaine ever been asked to do something that he shouldn't be doing? Absolutely. And you know what I said to that person? If you will write it down for me, tell me that you order me to do it, I'd be more than happy. No one has ever written it down because they knew what I was saying. If you will write down a confession that that you are bullying me into this position, number one, I'm going to take that writing, and I'm never going to do what you asked me to do, and I'm going to turn that into somebody, an inspector general. You're crazy. There are ways. You don't have to. I mean, if you're depressed, quit. If you think that this is morally wrong, speak out about it. And there are some practices out there that you've been told to do that that are not right, and you don't go somewhere, whether it be to the media, whether it be to the inspector general, to some higher reporting agency and stuff, and go, these are the things they're telling us to do, and these things are against the law, then you can keep your depression.
Mm-hmm. It was just interesting that someone's commentary talking about how they're depressed now, and that actually taking people, it's depressing, but you signed up for it, you decided to sit here and to do it, and you're trying to hide behind a mask. But
I heard an argument one time in a college class that slavery was is hard on white people because of the moral dilemma that it put them in, because they were good Christian people who had to do unchristian things, and the burden on their soul. Yeah, that was a real argument in a college class, and I got
yeah,
up and left.
please, yeah. Hey, I
And
got that one too. Back in college.
yeah,
I heard it too.
the moral decay and the burden that was felt on the white community during slavery. Okay, well then let them go. You know, you're not hurting that bad. You're out here making kids that you are your half breed kids that you gonna sell back into slavery and stuff. It's not killing you that bad. So yeah, keep all that.
Wow,
Mm-mm.
man, that's a crazy flip. Well, moving on from that for now, but we will continue to watch Trump's overplaying his hand as it appears with the National Guard, and again seeing what the Supreme Court is ultimately going to come down with on that. And did you hear that Donald Trump is really now so interested in taking over the Federal Reserve that now he's sicking his bully over Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, uh, over people like Letitia James.
Well, and
over Adam
also,
Schiff, and now Lisa. Yeah.
sorry, you're kind of going. It's the internet gremlins, but also Trump has now decided
Yeah.
that he wants to rename the Pentagon or the Department of Defense to now the Department of War. Because again, he's starting up and trying to create chaos.
Well, yes. I'll go just briefly on that. That is a Trump hexiv thing where they are into this masculinity romance, and it's just that defense sounds more pacifistic than war. War sounds more macho, and
Okay.
Trump is all about central casting. He's al- he's always been about central casting. He doesn't care what you know. Do you have the look? Do you look this way? Remember, he wanted certain generals and stuff because of their look, their jaw lines and stuff like that, because they had the look. Be dumb as a brick. He didn't care because he's just a casting director. That's where a lot of that came from, Lord. Yeah, it's about. I mean, it would be the same department. It would be the same equipment. Nothing would change other than the name. Why are you so worried about
Well,
the name? You know why you're worried about
well,
the name? Because it makes you feel like a man.
well. So you have to understand, Trump is about branding, right? That's his whole thing. That's why he puts his name all
Yep,
over everything.
yep.
Uh,
That's
it,
why
it,
I wanted I wanted three casinos within a mile of each other to have his name on it.
yeah.
And he bankrupted.
He
So
looks like a
put his
bloated
name on it.
dead fish right now. If you're talking about branding and making sure and talking about that one, I'm sorry, that's not going to give me anything that I'm going to give pause to when he looks sickly and bloated and looks like he can
Well,
barely move.
like, so you got to understand, Lori. This is for this, and don't get me wrong. This is a rich man thing. It's not just a Trump thing where they like to put their name on stuff, where it's stadiums, statues, buildings, whatever and stuff,
Yep,
and because they understand that, he Trump would like to be a Rockefeller type
yep.
And he's
name.
not. He's not.
And but I mean that's the thing because he knows, there's rumors, there's rumors because he was like missing for a couple of days that he died. We all know that he's not in the best health. And I'm sorry for everybody who really thought he was dead, and then when they found out he was still alive.
The
Um,
memes were the best. Were the best. The best. Thoughts and prayers.
Well, listen, the one that I said, you know what, it was kind of dating us, but the one that I had the weekend at Donnie's, and it had Elon Musk and JD Vance kind of holding Donald Trump up in the middle with his weekend at Bernie glasses on. I mean, it was that was low hanging fruit, but it was still hilarious. But then I thought about it, and I was like, damn, how old is Weekend at Bernie's? That if I got that immediately, it's saying how old I really am.
well, I mean, I thought about that too. And here's the thing: is that is the man well? I don't think he is. I think the ankles, in listening to different people and stuff talk about it.
Ankles look
Uh,
crazy.
well, these are signs of congestive heart
Okay,
failure, right? Where you're
Yes.
not pumping blood and stuff, and his hand is probably where they're giving him his
but
IV and stuff, and and he's almost 80 years old. He bruises, and so
it bruised
trying to cover
with the makeup.
that up with the makeup and stuff. But that's where that IV's got to go. And yeah, he was gone for a couple of days, probably because he was tired and couldn't function. Probably because we all know that he doesn't have this opportunity to either eat or be seen. So if he's gone for a couple of days, he's quiet for a couple of days. There has to be something to it. Not because it necessarily the franchise says so,
Yep,
but his history. Again, look at how people behave over a course of time, and then you can say, "Oh yeah," like if you saw me talking about some I love Trump and stuff like that, obviously I'm a hostage and I can't get out, right? Based on my past predict. that was not a normal thing for the franchise to do. It's out of character and stuff, and so that was out of character. I mean, if it makes anybody feel any better, I think he'll be dead before the end of his presidency. I mean, if that makes you feel any better, but
I, I don't know
So
because
instead,
Maybelline Pants is not.
but the whole thing is, so instead of having like the death clock that is at um in New York City, we're gonna have the Donald Trump clock, countdown clock watch to
yeah,
when it zaps.
so I will say this, and don't get me wrong, I just don't think this is one of those situations where I think morally, if you're rooting for somebody to die, that you're somehow in the right. I can understand what your disagreements might be with the man and stuff, um, and the people who are, if there's a guy who's a cardiologist that I saw on TikTok who was talking about the signs and stuff, and he's like, I work with patients. This is probably and he was giving his medical opinion. If you have those kind of opinions, sure. If you just straight up root for the dude to die because you don't like him stuff and you think that he might be Hitler, um, still, that's not me. I don't root
Right.
for his death. I'm not saying that I want him to live another 100 years either. There's some middle ground in there where I think that his life expectancy should be as long as the Lord lets it be, whatever that means.
Yep.
It's a mysterious thing.
Yeah,
It works in
I don't,
mysterious ways.
I don't want him to die. I
No,
honestly
I don't want him
want
to
him to
die
spend
either.
his
I
life.
want him to go
That's probably
peacefully
still.
into the next life,
Into the
whatever
next
that
life.
is.
Yeah,
Into
yeah,
the next
whatever
life,
it is.
whatever that
But
is.
like,
I want him to
but the thing
peacefully.
is, yeah. Well, I mean, here, here's the thing. Uh, Trump is a horrible person. Um, and I understand why people might feel because he's very, very polarizing, right? And as much as
Right.
he energizes the Republican base, um, he energizes the opposite too. Um, the big thing is that they will weaken and burn him until the midterms, and here's why: because he's the one that gets them to the polls. The reason that they lost when he was on the ballot, they lost. Republicans lost because Trump does something the Republicans can't do. He gets people who are not. When you energize the ignorant section of America, the uneducated section of America, they are not normally involved in politics. So special elections, Democrats win. They go, how did they win? Because the same people that came out to vote for Trump don't even know when a special election is, so they're not showing up to vote. Republicans, that's the thing with Texas, why the whole gerrymandering thing became such a prominent thing, is that they're not voting in the numbers that they used to. Trump is
Right.
that binding force that gets them, all the people who are normally not involved in politics, to come out and vote. If he's not around to stand behind
And yes,
the
and to your
candidate, go ahead.
no. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to step on you. I know I've got a delay on my thing. No, but no, you're absolutely right. Oh, side note, Weekend at Bernie's 1989. So yes, you're old as hell, so 15 years old. Um, but to go even further, uh, that is the problem that the Republicans are facing is that in a presidential year, people are going to show up for Trump in the past, and a lot of times these Republicans get dragged across the finish line just because of Trump's presence. How do we know that? Because even just recently in Iowa, a seat got flipped blue that Trump won by over 20 points because his name's not on the ballot. Um, we are seeing Democrats, even in these special elections, uh, are still having some success because Trump's name is not on the ballot. Does not help the Republican as much, and now it is. Uh, you're going into the ring by yourself just against your opponent. You don't have Trump there as a stamp of approval for you because it's an out of cycle election. That's why midterm elections are very harsh because number one, turnout is lower, and number two, you're not being dragged across the finish line by the incumbent.
Yes, to all that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So they're going to find it harder and harder, which is where the gerrymandering is coming from. So now that Greg Abbott has signed onto the redistricting maps in Texas, of course the Gavin Newsom, who has just been trolling the living hell out of Donald Trump and the Republicans,
Love it.
living rent free in their mind. They're like,
Oh my gosh.
he needs to
Love it.
stop acting like Trump. Trump is the original. He needs to be his own person.
The thing about that, and I'll let you have it back real quick. The thing about that that's always amazing is that the reason that Gavin is mocking them in his same style is that, as he's pointed out, if you have a problem with what I'm doing, then you sure as hell should have a problem with what he's doing. Right.
Because
And
he's the
so
original.
it's hard. He's the original, right? And so if you think that he should spend less time doing that and governing, then what does it say for the president? Should he be doing the same thing? If you think that his things are childish, he's mocking the same style. Should he be doing the same thing? So Republicans are having this hard time trying to attack Gavin without also carrying in. Well, and that's the reason that they're like, well, he's copying him, and he's not mocking him, he's copying him, and he's not the original voice, blah blah blah, trying to spin it that way, which is a horrible spin on it. But honestly, it's one of those kind of things where you go in, you play dominoes, and you go, hey, you gonna give me 15. I don't care. I know it's in your hand. And Gavin is kind of forced him, like, I know it's in your hand. What are you going to do? You got to play it this way. I mean, you can look at these things all you want to.
And you know,
but unless
you still going to have to do it.
You still going to have to do it.
Yep. It's hilarious to watch him do it. But
It's so funny. It's so funny. Like, as I said, I love the how what he does. It just warms my heart.
It is. It's hilarious. But now the tough sledding starts because now the California will be putting in on their ballot next month, actually, those districting maps. We got to watch how far it's going to go because you got other states out there, whether it's Florida, Missouri, Ohio, that could try to follow suit. And a lot of the other governors out there outside of JB Pritzker in Illinois have been very apprehensive about fully committing to doing the same thing, whether it's Westmore in Maryland, whether it's Phil Murphy in New Jersey, whether it's Kathy Hochul in New York. They all keep talking about fighting fire with fire, but kind of stopping very, very short of saying, hey, we'll gerrymander our districts too, so that we will counter what these other states are doing. Greg Abbott would have tried to stretch this out longer had there not been lawsuits pending, just so that he could try to back them up so close to their time threshold where they wouldn't have time to oppose these maps. That's why he waited as long as he did. But once he saw that these legal issues were starting to come up, he was going to have to go ahead and either move forward or tell Donald Trump he wasn't going to do what he wanted them to do. And that wasn't going to be an option. So we'll see how the maps play out. We'll see how much more Gavin Newsom is going to be rent-free in these Republicans' minds. And next week, we'll really talk, too, about anything else coming out with the Epstein files. The DOJ is slow walking this right now, where they're bringing out a lot of documents that have already been put out in the public sphere. So there's not a whole lot of new information that's coming out of that. That is definitely by design. And hopefully this discharge petition that is being pushed by Thomas Massie and Khanna will gain some legs. I believe they are up to about 215 out of the necessary 218 to get the discharge petition across to keep Mike Johnson from keeping it off of the House floor for a vote. So we will keep up with that next week. But it is time to sign off because, hey, it's football time. But y'all tune in. We will be back next Thursday. Also catch our football show on Mondays again at 7 to 8:15 right here. But let's thank our co-host, Lori Parker, and the franchise for tuning in. I'm Brian Parker, head to head. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
This a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it.
And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the biggest. That's a comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. A comma and a comma and a comma. Gotta get it. Comma and a comma. Gotta get it. And it's a ticket talking Mazda for the